God uses the willing. He doesn't need you to be perfect. God is calling you to do something. He's going to make you ready. He's going to help develop you into the person in order for you to do the job. Our lack of willingness actually closes doors. It puts us in a season of confusion. It makes us feel like we're lost, we're behind. It makes us think that what we're doing is not working. And once you start entertaining all of that negative chatter, you start to actually believe it. You start to think that nothing you do actually matters. You start to question your purpose. Question, are you even worth anything? Do you even have a purpose? Like, what is my purpose? Like, I see everybody else doing all the things, saying all the things, doing all this stuff. And then you sit there and you compare yourself and you wonder, why me? What's different from them to me? What am I not doing to not be receiving those type of results? God doesn't need you to be perfect to do the job. In fact, most of the people in the Bible that had significant impacts or significant influence just acted because God told them to. You're waiting to move your feet because you're waiting for the perfect opportunity, or you're waiting for the perfect result, the perfect look, the perfect this, the perfect that. But at the end of the day, your lack of progression, your lack of willingness, your lack of moving your feet is actually disobedient. You think that the quality in which you produce, or the thing that you do that you've took 7 months to do, once you do it, you're going to do it perfect. But I hate to tell you that all of that doesn't matter if you haven't been doing the very things God's asked you to do in this meantime. You can't achieve perfection, okay? But what you can do is work on your craft day in and day out. Show up every day. Show up consistently, because consistency doesn't look like a straight line. It actually looks like a line forward, but there's many hills and many valleys. If you're consistently working on something, if you're consistently working at something that God has told you to do, maybe He's placed it on your heart. Maybe He's giving you these visions consistently. Maybe He's shown you something or allowed someone to speak this into your life. Do you not know that the journey that you go on is going to develop you for the actual thing that you're trying to do? The journey is meant to develop you into the character for the role. The journey is meant to help you along the way, to be able to sustain you when you get there. So many of us are trying to skip the journey. We're trying to jog instead of walk. We're trying to leap instead of taking steps forward. But God is showing us that the small little bits that you're doing is actually going to make a huge difference when you get to where you're going. Consistency is better than doing nothing at all. Consistently moving your feet forward slowly is better than doing nothing at all. And in my life, for instance, I have had many seasons where I doubted the vision. I doubted the goals. I doubted what God has said to me or spoke to me, because I didn't believe that little old me was capable of doing the things that I felt like God called me to do. The craziest thing is, God will use people around you to show you the very thing that He needs you to do. And the difference between you and certain people is the fact that those people are more willing to do the thing than you are. I'm making all the excuses, right? And at the end of the day, the mission is to save souls. The mission is to tell people about God, to invite people into your world so they can see the light of God in your life. This is all you got to do. Just show up. God will make a way for you. You just have to be willing. Like, I know that someone's going to see this message and be like, okay, well, next week, when I have some time, I'll go ahead and... No, you need to do it now. You don't even know if you're going to be here 10 months from now. You don't know if you're going to be here 3 years from now. You don't know. None of us know. So why am I procrastinating? Why am I taking my time? Why am I acting like we have forever? Because we don't. None of us have forever. So whatever it is you think you want to do it just a little bit, but then do it all out. Like, do it until God shows you, look, I'm trying to show you something. I have favor over your life in this situation. I got you. You're good. God knows what you need, and He knows the direction you need to go in. He knows the direction you're headed in. And if He's pulling you and tugging you, please listen to Him, because what you're going to experience when you fully listen to God is the fact that He is going to bless and make your situation so much more prosperous. because this is the thing he has for you. Now, I'm not saying that things that you're doing is not a part of it. I'm not saying that it's not a little addition to what you already do, an add-on. But if he's calling you to do something, do that, because you never know what's going to come out of that situation. You never know, but you do know that it's going to be good, right? You do know that whatever the desires of your heart is, God knows that. But at the end of the day, what he has for you is so much better. But it's you. He knows you. So what he does for you is he allows you to have this vision for your life, these goals, these ideas, right? And if you're righteous and you follow God, he's going to guide your steps and direct you anyway. But when you trust God with the plan over your life, where you end up is somewhere that, if you really think about it, would make sense to who you are as a person. It would make sense if you really think about who you are as a person and where God has molded you and shifted you already. So I say all of that to say, willingness will open doors for you, and small acts of willingness actually have bigger results. As you can see, my fiance was just showing me something on YouTube and literally went viral off of the very conversations we already have. And he told me, look, you just have to show up. God is telling me he's using me to show you. You just have to show up. You just have to be willing. And God is probably using me to show y'all, look, at the end of the day, whatever you're trying to do and whatever your situation is, because not everybody's an entrepreneur, not everybody's a content creator, but our life is content. So really everyone is a content creator. It's just how you show up. Maybe it's in person and you show people through your life God or whatever the case may be, but your life is content, so you are a content creator. But obedience is the first step. So take the first step and allow God to guide you, because at the end of the day, if you continue to not act, you're going to continue to be feeling like you're so behind in life. You're going to keep feeling like people are surpassing you and situations happen for other people and they don't happen for you. But the difference between you and them is the fact that they were willing. You aren't. And you have to be willing. With God, you have to be willing. You mean to tell me that the creator of your life needs you to do something and you are telling him no, or you're putting it off, or you are, trying to have a plan for yourself and trying to make it perfect? No, you got to go, and you got to go now, and you got to show up. Your willingness will overpower your fear. Like, what I mean by that is when you start having faith and you start having faith in motion, faith is regardless of what it looks like, regardless of what it seems like. I know God told me this, so I know I'm okay. And trials and tribulations may happen. They may come, and it may come to test you. But at the end of the day, your fear cannot override your faith. God doesn't need you to be perfect, okay? He just needs you to act, because the journey is going to develop you for the season, for the situation, for the destination. The journey is going to develop the person for the role. So I hope that this message helped you, and I hope that you realize that you don't need to be perfect to act. You just have to be willing, and you got to trust God on the journey. You got to trust him in the up seasons, the down seasons, the in between. Like, trust him with your life and know that he has your best interest in mind.